Today we'll be comparing how a simple home film scanner compares to a professional grade lab scanner. If you're a regular film photographer like myself, or you just have a massive backlog of old film that you need to digitize, paying a lab to do it will cost more than just an arm and a leg. And in this economy, I'm sorry, that's just not an option for us. We already had to pay for the film and the development cost. Adding a scanning fee on top of that is an easy way to bring the price per roll up to around the $40 realm, which is more than $1 per photo. This video is sponsored by the Kodak Plus Slide and Scan Film Scanner, which lets you easily scan film negatives and slides into digital images with a built-in screen. I like it because it's fast, straightforward, and doesn't require any external software. For those looking for something quick and simple to use, this is an excellent piece of kit. So, given that information, surely there's a cheaper and potentially better alternative, right? Well, I have this roll of 35mm film that I shot in Japan, and then I had a lab scan it for me, and now we're gonna scan it for ourselves, and see if we can't potentially save some money, time, and maybe even get some better results. Let's dive right in. Obviously, already got the film developed and scanned by the lab, so now we just have to scan it ourselves. We're going to be using the Kodak Plus Slide and Scan. It's really simple and quick to use, and the results it gives are pretty impressive. First, we'll remove our negative from the sleeve, then we just have to feed it into the film holder here. Now, one thing I am noticing is these do look a little on the cool side. So if we click the RGB button, we can increase the red, and it'll warm it up slightly. I think that looks good right there. Click OK, and capture. Obviously we can make some adjustments in post, but it is better to get it right when you're capturing. This one's a little overexposed, so I'm gonna adjust the brightness here. Just bring that down, somewhere right there in the middle. Now, if you have Lightroom, what you could do is you could take a underexposed shot of this and an overexposed and merge them into a photo that has a higher dynamic range. But that's beyond the scope of this video, so we're just gonna go kind of in a happy middle ground here and click OK and capture. All right, let's do a comparison and see how we did. All right, we got the SD card here from the scanner. Let's pop it in and see what we got. Okay, so the one on the right is the lab and the one on the left is the home. And resolution wise, if we unlock them so that we can have them both the same. The lab scan might be slightly sharper. We're really splitting hairs. It's kind of a different type of sharpness on both. Obviously, this one has more smoothing applied to it, so you don't have as much of a pixelated look in the solid colors. But the lab scan does seem to have more defined fine detail here, although the edges on this one are more defined on the text. Honestly, I'd say they're about the same. They're effectively the same for a normal person's use case. I don't think anyone is taking a 35mm film photo and blowing it up to that size or pixel peeping that hard, so they're effectively the same. Now, detail in the highlights. Let's see here. Not really much detail to recover here regardless, so that's probably about a tie there as well. And then color-wise, I'm gonna give it to the home scan, honestly. There is a bit of a color cast here in the lab scan. This one looks more natural. This one kind of has a blue tone in the whites, or like a turquoise or something. But let's move on to another photo. Okay, here's one where we can really test the highlight detail. So once again, the one on the left is the home scan, the one on the right is the lab. And immediately upon zooming in here, we can see that the lab scan has more detail in the highlights. Obviously, that's something that you could fix by adjusting the brightness on the scanner. And then if you wanted to recover the shadows as well, you could just merge the photos. But that's dependent on whether or not you have a software like Lightroom or Photoshop. Not everybody has those. And this scanner is targeted towards somebody who's more interested in kind of just a click and scan option rather than fiddling with software. Looking at the color cast again, we have the kind of the greenish turquoise that you get in these lab scans done by Noritsu scanners. And then on this side, because we bumped up the reds, we do have some reds in the shadows. Again, if you have Lightroom, you can adjust that. Even some more basic photo editors can adjust color levels as well. So once again, we have the home scan on the left and the lab scan on the right. And honestly, I think I prefer the home scan. I can see up here in the corner, I didn't quite straighten it properly. There's a bit of a edge there, but you can crop that out. Because we did lower the exposure on this one, we got a lot more detail here in the highlights. The sky's not blown out. We actually have some blue sky in there. And honestly, the shadows look a little bit better in this photo crushed because the van is black. So having a darker, deeper black here really works with the photo. We also have much warmer tones, whereas the lab scan is a very cool tone and honestly kind of looks a little washed out, like the shadows aren't deep enough. Again, you can correct that, but I'm just looking at them as they are. And for our final comparison here, once again, home is on the left and lab is on the right. And honestly, the colors on these are just completely different takes on the photo. One of them is warm tones, the other one is cool tones. This was shot during sunset, so I am going to lean towards the warmer tones. Up here we do run into the issue. This is kind of the first one we've seen of it. More advanced film scanners do offer a dust removal feature that more basic and easier to use scanners don't have. So when scanning, just be more mindful to make sure you remove any dust or hairs that are on your negatives, basically. Obviously that won't help if the negative itself is scratched, but I do cover how to handle your negatives properly in my previous video. If you want to go take a look at that, I give some tips that people who are new to film scanning might not know and might be helpful for you. And that's it. That's how lab scans compare to a simple film scanner, such as the Kodak Plus Slide and Scan. If you're interested in picking one of these up, you can go ahead and find the link down there in the video description as usual. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more comparisons, drop a comment down below. Let me know which scanners you want to see. I have an Epson V700 right here that I picked up for a really good deal on Facebook Marketplace that I'd like to do a comparison on against the V600 and maybe my Coolscan 5000 as well. Let me know if that's something that interests you in the comments, and I'll see you next time.